Good day, good evening, everybody. This is Columbia Coach A here. Today to talk about a very hot topic about the email that was sent out to federal employees last week, telling them to list out 5 things that they did in the previous week. Now, be mad at me, but personally, everybody, guys, I don't want to see people lose their jobs. People who are cheering that on, that's just not my bag. That's not my speed. I have been laid off, no fault of my own, with a downsizing in a private company while I was expecting my son. I got the news that my wife was pregnant with my son, and I was attempting to immigrate her at this time. And I find out I lost my job. So it's not pretty. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the federal government right now that is going through that, may have bought homes, new cars, life events, whatever, and this whole shakeup's happening. So I definitely sympathize. It's just not pretty. Whether it's right or wrong, what have you, that's a little bit beyond me. That's a little bit beyond the scope of this video for me. But I'm definitely going to react to a little clip here of someone talking about it from the federal government and some reaction from X that we have. Let's go ahead and take a look.
First, just tell us about this email and what it was like receiving it and what you all have talked about after getting it.
Sure. I got this email Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m., and I felt absolutely infuriated getting this email with a demand within 48 hours to provide a response on what I did within the last week or face termination. This is clearly an attempt from Elon Musk to harass and bully and intimidate the federal workforce, which is part of his broader plan to gut the federal workforce and privatize public sector services to ensure that corporations like his own can get more profit.
That's a loaded state. That's a lot there. First of all, in reverse, how do you know all that? And that's a legitimate question. How do you know all that? Sounds like you were reading something there. I'm not sure if someone told you to say that, but the last part there is very suspicious. It sounds like really rehearsed. How do you know any of that? Outside of the plan to reduce the federal workforce, I think that has been stated. Now, listen, again, like my opening monologue, I feel for her. I understand what she's saying. I don't think it's as clear cut as she's saying. Bullying, harassing, and all that, but is it though? Maybe the message was very strong, like, or else get fired. I think what's really, again, I would probably, me personally, I'd put that this is a little bit too aggressive. Now, to go to the other side, though, I think perhaps it is to see if someone's doing overemployment. If you don't know what overemployment is having multiple remote jobs at the same time, getting paid at the same time. Could this be a phishing attempt to see who is doing overemployment, that you're not even checking your email? People who are not even working that's remote. And if I pause here and I'll share a quick anecdote. I remember I was hiring for a role that was also remote. And the young lady said to me, the question was something like, what do you want to work at this company? And the young lady responded, right if or wrong, she said, well, because the position is remote and I want that flexibility in my life. For example, if I wanted to go to a coffee shop and work there all day, I want to have the ability to do that. Now, personally, to me, that's not what remote is about. Remote is a super weapon for organizations to hire the best talent possible outside of where the offices are. Okay, that's what remote is. And you work in your home office. No distractions. You're not out doing coffee. You're not out RVing across the country. You're not in Costa Rica in a hammock by the beach. That's not remote, right? Remote is your home is an extension of that company's office. All right. So, I mean, with all that said, could they be trying to fish for something like that, some type of abuse of it? That's what I think. And lastly, I think for the last couple of years now at this point, I've always had to turn in an end of week report. What did you do? And I'm telling you right now, it's a lot more than 5 items. 5 items for a whole week is not that hard to do. Anyways, I hand it back over to her.
And that makes me really angry, and my coworkers as well.
First, just tell us about this email and what it was like receiving it and what you all have talked.
Okay, so that was it. Now, what's interesting is I have Heather Long here, which I believe is a Washington Post columnist. Okay, yep. And with some pictures saying that, hey, federal employees work pretty long hours. Right? Armed services, okay, post office, federal, all over. So for-profit employee, 39.4 hours. Okay. Not my line of work. Missed all given away for the following reason. Local government employee, federal. Oh, so here it's saying that missing the least amount of work here. Now let's see what the reaction is. Which this is mine. If that's true, why can't you just take the 2 seconds to respond back? I created this report. I am assisting this project. I was a part of some type of improvement. I took 2 meetings that spiraled into multiple discussions and writing documentation and blah, 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 blah. I had to write this report out. Okay. Wrong. Most blue collar workers work well over that. I work over 50 hours a week, every single week, 10 hours a day with no lunch and breaks, Crimea River. Why should we believe you? What a nonsensical chart. I don't know any full-time employees for a for-profit that puts in less than 50 hours a week. Must be part-time teens. Then why are federal workers afraid to write a short email saying what they do? Good. Then it should be able to fill out an email with 5 bullet points. Honestly, yeah, I don't see why not. Again, I'm not here to hate on people and wish for people to lose their jobs and all that. I mean, no disrespect to anyone, no bad vibes, but guys, it's not that hard to write down. Source, trust me, bro. American Community Survey. Okay. You know, it's just not that hard. But either way, please let me know what you think. I'll see you guys around.